Alright guys, we're back. So this is obviously part 3. Well, it might not be. I'm not really sure. Basically, I've played like a little snippet of the game since I last came on. And this is like the full game. This isn't the preview build anymore. And what I was told by the developers is basically that the preview build doesn't carry over. Like you have to start all over with the main game. So I'm gonna have to redo all of that stuff. So you have to do new game. And so when I click new game, it put me into this introductory phase. So it's stuff that I didn't play in day one. So depending on how long it is, that might be its own entire video, or this might be part 3. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do this. But yeah, basically, so there is extra content, stuff that took place before day 1 that we're about to start up. And then once I do that, I'm going to do my best to do everything that I did in the last 2 parts so I can be as effectively as close as I am to what I did in the preview build, like in terms of choices and dialogue options and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. So let's get started. Okay, so this is taking place 14 years, I believe, 14 years before day 1 at the camp. All right, you see Julia. She's about your age, late 20s, laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You, Henry, are out drinking with your pals. You approach her. You were drunk. All right, so we can choose between, what's your... major. Let's go with that one. You slur the word major and it smells like Coors. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says, and I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours? She asks. She sniffs the air. Toxicology? Because you're drunk. It's funny. Was that a burn, you ask? She says definitely. Worried to hurt your feelings, she asks you if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you are Julia's boyfriend. And here we are in an elevator, and this is as far as I got. I was like, yeah, okay, so there's gameplay here. I probably should be doing commentary with this. There's a backpack. Okay, so there's a backpack just like day 1, day 2 was this like day negative... like 7,300. This is like several years before. All right, let's go. Or is this a hallucination? I don't know, because that just looks like a very particular backpack, you know? Neat. Oh, okay. Can I look around? Because I'm guessing I'm supposed to get in the truck, so I don't want to do that just yet. I want to explore. I can't. Fuck. Well then. If we're forced to the truck, I suppose. You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. You move in, you share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Julia wants to get a dog. There's a scruffy, undersized beagle. Julia is in love. She wants to bring it with her to class. There's also an intimidating but gentle-eyed German shepherd. Nothing bad could happen to Julia while walking this dog. It's badass. Okay, so this could set things up. Interesting. Huh. Let's get the beagle. She likes the beagle, so. Bucket's a good dog, and a week later, you've totally forgotten about the other one. Julia loves him. You love him too. 1979. You talk out on the deck. It's late summer, 9:30 p.m., and the heat still radiates off of the high desert. So this is 4 years later. What do you think about kids? She asks. Kids? They're not very smart or good at much. That's actually a very astute observation. I'm saying if you and I have some, a couple little idiots. One day, why rush? She looks away, out towards the mountains. We have plenty of time, right? Speak for yourself, mister. Don't worry, you assure her. I'm not really sure why it lets me decide that, since there's not really another option. And yeah, whatever. You tell her she has the body of an undergrad. My ovaries didn't get the memo, she says, laughing it off. One day. Okay, one day, she says. 6 months later, you get engaged lying in bed on a Sunday morning. This is neat. I was thinking this might have just been like a little tiny entry, but this is quite large in terms of like the extra content there is. Also, once again, sorry if I sound nasally. I'm still kind of recovering. All right, so we're actually now at the park. So that's a thing. It's very pretty music. Nothing bad's gonna happen. 1980. It's a Thursday night and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call. You're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. She's not quite drunk, but she's clearly been having a fun time. You fight when she gets between the sheets. You get mad or you ignore her. How do you want to play this? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I would get like all upset with her unless there was some sort of agreement beforehand. Let's ignore it. Because that's how you want to approach things. You don't touch each other all night. The next day you feel guilty for being so angry and ask her about her evening. She says it was great. You hold on to a tiny pill of resentment. You make some coffee and go to work. 1981. Julia still likes to draw. She draws plans from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You frolic like a Victoria's Secret. Actually, let's go with that one. Very nice. Alright, so this is kind of like interwoven. I like this. This is cool. What does that say? Okay, 2 forks. 8 more miles. Holy shit. Hop on over that. Why not? I do find it amusing that, like, otherwise I really can't do anything. 1982, during the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking bucket at night. Uh-oh. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. I am fucked. Bucket gets kicked. Wait, what? Fuck dog. Wait, what? What? I don't understand that. Julia yells. She gets flustered and has trouble speaking when she is stressed. Oh, okay. You confront the attacker. You beat his goddamn face in. Your arm gets cut up, but you beat the guy to a pulp. You don't feel very tough. You cry your eyes out before the cops show up. Julia asks to take a different path from that day forward. You say okay. You don't want to go that way either. From then on, you walk by the river. 1984. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale is in Connecticut, 2,000 miles away. It's a great job, associate department chair. She wants to move. You absolutely do not. Agree if she commutes back and forth. I'm not going to really say exactly. I was going to say, but depending on how I structure this video, this is probably going to be the first video in the series. So for later dates, I don't want to spoil anything. But in a dialogue option, I kind of already determined the fate between Julia and fuck, I can't remember, Henry, the main character. What happens between them through dialogue, talking to the woman at the other tower. So I'm not really sure if this affects that. Oh, it's kind of a shitty thing to convince her not to take the job, but, you know, they are, you know, like, engaged and I think maybe married? I'm not sure. But, you know, they're planning to have kids, and that kind of fucks things up a little bit, don't you think? You know, no, we're going to convince her not to take the job, because they're together, and the commuting back and forth thing's going to fuck things up. I really do think so. You tell her that this means you two won't have a family. She says that's bullshit. She's totally right. No, how? That's not necessarily bullshit. Like, there's a lot of extenuating circumstances where that could be the case. Maybe she cheats. Maybe you cheat. Maybe, you know, her job is so consuming that they can't have kids. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, she asks if her taking the job means you won't come with her. You say yes. Again, bullshit, but she decides not to take it. That's not good. 1985, Julia is asked to leave Boulder on paid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember she had happily loaned them to him just 2 days prior. She is found crying in the stairwell. You say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it, or you make macaroni and drink wine and try to forget about it. Let's talk to someone. Yeah, of course. After seeing multiple doctors and having many tests, they are worried about Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She's 41. You both decide to keep it a secret for now. I don't know why I would do that, but okay. Ugh, what the that is like that is so out of place and silly. I don't know, just caught me off guard. Okay. Bucket is getting older. Julia comments that it's kind of nice because he gets in trouble, less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. 1987, Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in her class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Other days you get a stranger. She pulls you into bed to make love. After 5 minutes, she goes into a panic, believing her dad is at the door. Was she 14? You tell her family. They are crushed and begin to make trips to and from their home in Australia to visit her. For a little while, your friends come by with little things to brighten the day. She gets worse. 1988, we're only a year now. You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between the 2 weekly visits from Daniel, the nurse. He suggests that Julia could live somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care, a home. It sits with you for a couple months. You decide to move her into a full-time care facility. You're determined to take care of her by yourself. I don't know why, but I just feel like I want to do the take care of her by yourself. Even though it's not the reasonable thing to do, I just feel like that might be something that this guy would want, just from listening to him talk and all of that. I don't know. This is kind of a pre-exposure to the preview build, but I don't know. I just feel like that would be the thing that he would be more likely to do, or at least what I've structured him to be up to this point. Oh shit, is it the next day? Okay, it's the next day. So this is like a multi-day hike. Fuck, man. That's kind of rough. And like, I find it kind of funny, like he's never been here before, I'm guessing, and he's just taking this hike on his own. No guide, nothing. Nobody helping him out. Maybe he's a habitual hiker. He knows this stuff. I don't know. It is impossibly hard. The worst is when you get mad at her, like when she tries to cook her own food. You can't do anything without her, and she can't do anything without you. When she goes to sleep, you stay up for a few hours, drinking on the deck, watching baseball in the summer, college basketball in the winter, drinking then too. You start going out after you put her to bed. The first time you do it, you worry about her getting up and walking around while you're gone. You put a chair in front of the bedroom door. You trust that she sleeps like a rock. I don't know. I feel like I want to set up some tragedy here. I want this guy to have a miserable life. So we're gonna just trust her, because that's a logical thing to do. You go at the same bar, or go to the same bar at the boring end of Pearl Street. It's nice there. Over time, you tell Sheila, the bartender, everything. It's a huge weight off. You're home and in bed by 1 a.m. a couple nights a week. You look forward to those nights. 1989, one night you were stopped at a DUI checkpoint. I don't know why I said that so weird. You blow a .10 or .10 and are taken to jail for the night. You consider trying to hide it, but you tell your sister-in-law, Susan. Julia's parents take the next plane from Australia. They can't believe the state your house is in. Then they tell you Julia is coming to live with them. You don't argue. You say you'll visit soon. A few weeks go by. Summer's coming, and you see an ad in the paper for a job. You take it. Alright, so here we are at day 1, and I'm going to probably still keep recording just in case, but I don't see there being any major deviation here. I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and cut it here, and that's going to be about it. And we'll probably move to part 4, or, yeah, like, this is, I guess, part 1, technically, but the next one's going to be part 4. Fuck it. Anyway, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Pressed or something.
Henry, that call was work. I was just talking to... Actually, it's not really your business. Why are you freaking out?
I'm not freaking out.
Good. I'm gonna go call him.
That would suck. You know, my only concern is, like, I would go back over there and climb on top of that thing, but I don't know if I can come back.